what you're dealing with. I don't care what your family's facing right now. It's going to be all right. It's hallelujah.
If I ever took a loss, I learned a lesson. I won't ever think I'm better than the next man. I've been down before to come up, I ain't stressing. Baby, I'm too busy counting all these blessings.
Count it up, count it up, count it up. Line 'em up, line 'em up, line 'em up. Swear the sun shining on me, get my heart up, no matter that trouble surrounding us. They don't see that it's a lot of us. Everybody move anonymous. Won't take that credit, I know what we get it. Them blessings be coming from God above. I was doing all kind of bad, what a quiet. Tell him I need a verse. Hit the pew and tell God he's first. Hit the studio to body a verse. I remember pushing mama little white Hyundai with no gas money. I just bought a car, cash money. I ain't even trying to brag on it. I just tell it how it really is. I ain't tripping, they ain't feeling this. I ain't saying I deserve nothing, I'm just trying to talk about the benefits. I've been punching in the clock, trying to keep the kitchen stocked. Man, it's a blessing, cause we ain't never had a lot. But all we need is all we got. Whew.
If I ever took a loss, I learned a lesson. I won't ever think I'm better than the next man. I've been down before to come up, I ain't stressing. Baby, I'm too busy counting all these blessings. Count it up, count it up, count it up. Count it up, count it up, count it up. Count it up, count it up, count it up. Blessings. Count it up, count it up, count it up. Count it up, count it up, count it up. Count it up, count it up, count it up. I put my mama in the grips and stop stressing. I put my girl in a brand new diamond necklace. She said she need more of my love and affection. Cause lately I've been working harder than ever. She said, baby, you a boss. Baby, clear your schedule. Dollar, you a boss. Let's do something special. Take me on the PJ. We should go to Mexico. I've been down for you, boy, since when the money was low. Anything for my back, cause she a blessing. If you woke up this morning, it's a blessing. If I ever took a loss, I learned a lesson. I won't ever think I'm better than the next man. I've been down before to come up, I ain't stressing. Baby, I'm too busy counting all these blessings. Count it up, count it up, count it up. Count it up, count it up, count it up. Count it up, count it up, count it up. Blessings. Count it up, count it up, count it up. Count it up, count it up, count it up. Count it up, count it up, count it up.
I took so many losses, could've lost it. Yeah, left them leaking like a faucet. Almost cost me everything that I got, all of my fam. Part of the plan. I was eating fried bologna out of the pan. Y'all don't understand. I was trying to get it. I'm in that studio trying to keep it pushing. Patty pies, boy, I kept them cooking. All I needed was the Mary, but the God in me was having commentary. Woo! I got angels all around like I need a baker. Blessings falling in the line, guess I need a taper. And every loss is a lesson. Tell my haters I confess. Treat them like the green bubbles on my iPhone. I probably never read the message.
If I ever took a loss, I learned a lesson. I won't ever think I'm better than the next man. I've been down before to come up, I ain't stressing. Baby, I'm too busy counting all these blessings. Count it up, count it up, count it up. Count it up, count it up, count it up. Count it up, count it up, count it up. Blessings. Count it up, count it up, count it up. Count it up, count it up, count it up. Count it up, count it up, count it up. Blessings.
Connecting the community through gospel.
The new 107.9 FM, W300EB.
Macon and WDDO 980 AM, Perry, Macon.
The views expressed on this program are not necessarily the views of the Glory 980 AM, the Glory Media Group, LLC, WDDO AM, its staff, management, or advertisers, but are the views and opinions of the participants of the broadcast.
It is now time for the live broadcast of the NAACP with Gwinnett, Westbrook, and Mr. Dumas.
And good evening and welcome to another segment of the NAACP Truth Show. I'm Willie Dumas, your host. We'll be joined shortly by President Westbrooks. I hope you're having a great afternoon this afternoon. We've had an exciting morning already, in that we celebrated my pastor, Pastor David Stanley. We're going to send a shout out to him as we celebrate his contributions to the community and his service to Union Baptist Church. And we appreciate you, Pastor, and hope you're going to have a wonderful rest of your day as we celebrated today at the Tubman Museum. I had a wonderful, wonderful event, a lot of participation from across the city, and just some wonderful things said about Pastor Stanley, and we applaud him. He's no stranger, of course, to the Macon community and the Middle Georgia community as well. And so we applaud him in celebrating him today. And he was very, very surprised, of course. He had no inkling that he would be honored today. And so we thank him, and we thank those who put together that celebration for him. This past weekend, had a lot of events going on. I myself, personally, had an opportunity to MC and provide music for a motorcycle show down in Fort Valley. During the same time, Fort Valley State University had a football game. Got a little rain, of course, but not enough to stop the event. And so had a very interesting, very worthwhile weekend dealing with that. Of course, we were happy to see some fall weather today here in the mid-state. Got up to about as low as 59 degrees this morning. So that was welcome. It was welcomed coolness as far as I was concerned. Glad to see that cool weather finally take form, even though we have a few more days before we get into fall. And once we get into fall, of course, we'll get some much cooler temperatures. And I think everybody's probably welcoming that after all these record high temperatures we've had during the summer. Today, we're going to have a good show. We're going to be celebrating September 19th here across the mid-state, which is National Voters Registration Day. National Voters Registrations Day. We know the importance of being registered to vote. We know the importance of voting, particularly with everything that's been happening across the country that we see in the media, and some of the things that have occurred that deals with voting and ballots, and if ballots were valid, and all of those things that have been surrounded our former president, President Trump, even having to be indicted on some charges as it relates to voting. So we see the importance of voting, and I hope if you haven't done so already, that you will register to vote. And there's a quick way that you can check to see if you are registered to vote. Many times, people don't even know if they're actually registered to vote. And so we want to make sure that that you can find out if you are registered to vote. And I'm going to give you a website here that you can actually go to, and you can input your information, just some simple information that you can enter to determine if you're, actually registered. And those call letters, if you've got your pen and paper handy, it's mvp.sos.ga.gov. Once again, that is mvp.sos.ga.gov. And when you go to this website, you can enter some information there. And once you enter that information, it'll be able to tell you, if you're registered to vote, and also give you some other information about voting. So it's a very helpful tool for you. And we'll be, of course, using this particular site to get people registered this upcoming week. President Westbrooks, we welcome you to the show. Hope you had a good evening already.
I actually just drove from Cary.
Exactly.
Yeah, they pick up some cookies for my aunt.
Well, hopefully you brought me a few back.
They got to be good for me to drive out with.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I got to check these cookies out. I mean, you made that drive, and I know you can bake a cookie yourself if need be. So
I can't bake those, Mr. Doom. She won't give me the recipe.
Won't give you the recipe.
No, she won't give me the recipe, but they are delicious.
Well, I'm going to find out after the show.
Yeah.
But I was talking to our listening audience, of course, about National Voters Registration.
Right. Tomorrow.
Coming up tomorrow.
Yes.
And we're going to be in various locations.
We're going to be here at the
here Glory. At the radio station.
Yes,
at
we'll
the Glory.
Be here tomorrow.
Okay.
And we'll be doing voter registration. We're going to have some refreshments to during that time. Trying to get people. We got to get people registered to vote that fell
Absolutely.
off the that actually
were purged off the rolls.
Right, that were purged. So we're trying to get these people registered to vote. If you know anyone that's not registered to vote, please invite them. Let them know that we're going to be here tomorrow to make sure we get them back registered on the roll, because we got a presidential election coming up, and we got other elections that's going to be coming up. So it's very important that we get people out to vote. They're doing a lot of things to
deter
people from voting. So it just really does something to me when people say, well, my vote don't count, and they've already chosen who they want. No, you choose.
Right.
You let them choose who they want when you choose not to vote, because not voting, not casting the vote, just basically, you got people that are out there that's going to be voting. So if you don't vote, then that means that whoever these people trying to put in office,
that's
will most likely be put in office if we decide to stay home. But we have to show up to the polls, because it's crucial.
And there's so many things in the community.
If you're not seeing stuff that's going on in the news and the media of what's going on across the country with this voting,
right?
With voting issues, people being arrested because of, we have our former president has been indicted on charges related to, to the voting. And so we have to be very careful that we don't sit out and sit home on this election. Like I say, tomorrow is going to be an opportunity to come and get registered to vote if you're not registered to vote. A lot of things that affect society has to do with voting. And you got people who, we can't even get Medicaid expansion.
Exactly.
Medicaid expansion is a even during the most crucial time in our communities when we needed health care during COVID. A lot of people don't realize, some people, and I'm not, some people may have lost their lives during COVID because they didn't have insurance. Now,
right.
People treat you different.
Yes, if you don't have good, adequate insurance,
they even release you from the hospital early. They're not gonna keep you. Versus you having insurance, they may keep you longer because they know that they're gonna get paid.
Right.
But if they gotta write it off as an indigent write-off, they're gonna be sending you home quicker than letting you stay there. So a lot of people were untreated. A lot of people were not diagnosed for COVID in fear going to the hospital, having a bill that they know that they were not able to pay. So they just sat home and tried to do home remedies when they could have been being treated. So this is the thing that we're talking about that affects healthcare. You got people you put in office, and I'm not saying, we're nonpartisan, so I'm not saying what party is, trying to, justify anything, but we got people that people voted for who just refuse to
look at that closely.
Medicare expansion, when everybody between the ages of 19 and 64 would have health care.
Right.
And so, and then when our president actually wanted the Medicaid expansion and tried to show what they would be, basically responsible for, they still would not adopt Medicaid expansion.
And it's
And so
caused
the governor and the Supreme Court ruled in the governor's favor to
Right.
not accept Medicaid expansion. So, this is what we're talking about.
and it has affected hospitals as
Yes.
far as hospitals closing.
So if you don't think that not by voting, you got folks who don't have health care. You got, they've been trying to come up with something with this SNAPS program, and they was talking about drug testing, folks at one time.
Right.
And all, including that as part of being, receiving food stamps, because, back in the 90s, that's why they ended up going to this, the cards instead of the paper, because, when they do drug busts, they saw, they had these, people had, paper food stamps when
Wow.
they did drugs, but it hadn't changed anything. All you got to do, all they doing is giving folks their card and giving the PIN number. Nothing has changed. They hadn't slowed down anything.
Right.
And so, but all of this has to do with voting. The people that we're putting in office, and you think it don't affect you, but if you get SNAP benefits, it affect you, because they're trying to do something with that also. Right now, people are without benefits. Benefits have not gotten to them because they're
Some type of glitch, they say.
Yeah,
but,
glitch, or not enough staff.
right.
So we're talking about healthcare. All of these things play a part of who you vote for.
Absolutely.
So I'm saying you know that you have a medical condition and you can't get healthcare. So why wouldn't you vote?
And then, the thing
You gotta
too,
listen to folks' platform.
the thing that dispels the fact that your vote doesn't count. If your vote didn't count, they wouldn't put so many different laws to try to keep you from voting. If it didn't count.
That's the whole purpose. That's what we're
Exactly.
talking about. If they wouldn't be passing all these laws,
Right.
and putting in place to deter people from voting, if your vote didn't count. That's the number one thing. Just think about that. Just
Right.
that alone. If, all these laws that they're passing, you can't give out water, you can't,
Can't feed people.
You can't, all this, the boxes gotta be, the drop box gotta be done. It gotta be inside now. You can't drop on the outside. It is the time that the absentee ballots, the birthdays gotta be on. It's crazy, but if you don't think about anything else, think about that. If our vote did not count,
Exactly.
and Bibb County, I was just so saddened when, in this past election, the number of people that got out and voted. So we got a little over 3,000 people that had been purged out of Bibb County. So we need to make sure that we get people. We're gonna be here on tomorrow.
Absolutely.
We're gonna be doing voter registration. We want people to come out. We're gonna have some different snacks and things like that too.
It's kind of tidy people over.
Yeah, well, we're going to be here for a while, so we got to have something to eat too.
Exactly.
So we want to, we're going to have to try to make it fun,
Right.
but we want people to come out. We want to take it very seriously, get people to come out and vote.
Right. Maria Bryant and myself had the opportunity to go over to Macon State a few days ago.
Yeah.
And we really had a good time being there with the teens. And we had teens from all over. And a lot of them had registered. We took them through the site and everything to check to see, because a lot of times people, when you're set up to do these type of registration, and we ask the question, are you registered to vote? Yeah, I'm registered, And a lot of them just say that so you don't, they don't exactly
Keep on asking them.
but these kids, they were very truthful in that we would even check, and they would, they were registered. And so young people are taking a stance, and we hope that more of them will do so, not just college students, but students all across the community will make certain that they're registered, and then not only be registered, but vote.
let me let me say this. I'm going to say this right quick because I want to talk about some other things, but a few other things. But more so, I think if students were, for example, SNAP's benefits, we're going to go back to SNAP benefits.
Right.
Which doesn't make any sense to me. But people that are in college are not eligible for SNAP benefits if they're not working 20 hours a week, and if they're not living if they're not living in the household with their parents, then they can apply on their own. You can, even if you're living on campus, and even if you're getting if you're there getting a full scholarship and you're getting meals, you can't apply for food stamps. You're not eligible for food stamps.
Wow.
You're getting if you got a meal plan. But just say, for example, some people may stay off campus.
Right.
They're not eligible for diversity unless they're working 20 hours a week. So think about that, students that are in college.
Right.
That you, if you don't want to vote, that you know when you're in college, you spend out a lot of money for different things, and sometimes you need a little help.
Exactly.
With food or whatever. So, that's something that I've never agreed with. You're trying to help yourself. Why, punish them for trying to help yourself when you got people who not doing anything? And so,
right, not trying to elevate.
Yeah. So I've never agreed with that, but that's policy. But we just got to get people registered to vote. Last week, we kind of talked about the the NAACP is encouraging every person that rents. You need to get the renter's guide. We have a copy of it. If you would like a copy of it, you can email us at makeandbeupnaacp1909@gmail.com. If you are a renter, you need a copy of the renter's guide so you would know so you can know what your rights are.
Absolutely.
As a renter, we're still dealing with these issues out here in Healing Lake. I'm getting more and more calls in reference to Healing Lake, and see that what we're going to have to do, and I'm going to actually probably put something in the media, in order for us to determine actually what the owner or the management team is doing. We really got to have every person's bill. Well, they don't actually have a water bill. They have like a printout showing how much their water bill is. We really got to have a copy of everyone's statement so we can determine how much, whether or not the owners are actually, or the management team is actually overcharging these tenants. That's the only way I can see whether or not how you're gonna be able to pinpoint, because if they got a water bill for the month of May, like they charging these people for $2,000, and you charge tenants $5,000 for the month, then something is not right. You don't collect the extra $3,000. So that shouldn't be. You shouldn't be overcharging tenants. But in order for us to be able to pinpoint it, because we've sent the letter out to the management team telling them what we want to do, for them to kind of go back and say, for example, if you're going to be charging a water fee, you can look back at your water usage, and you said we're going to charge a 1-bedroom $35, we're going to charge a 2-bedroom $45, we're going to charge a 3-bedroom $55. You got a exact amount that you're going to be charging, and I can see that, even though some people, are not, or haven't been paying water bill, and they're starting to do that now. That's really because, people are, these property owners, and they're trying to get their money back that they lost from COVID. That's what I assume. But in order for us to be able to to determine actually what's going on with this, we got to have everybody's statement showing what they're paying for rent. Even if we don't get everybody, if we don't get maybe 2 or 3 people, that may not make a difference.
Right.
But between what the tenants are paying out and what they're actually paying, if it's $2,000 or $3,000 more, then they are actually overcharging these tenants because they don't have individual meters. So we're still working on that. We just want anybody, any person that lives in Hidden Lake Apartments, we need for you to email if you're listening and you have family member that lives in Hidden Lake Apartments, we need for you to make contact with them, or if you're listening, to email your statement to make them be up NAACP 1909 at gmail.com, because we're going to have to determine whether or not you all are being overcharged. $100 and $200 a month for one person is,
That's ridiculous.
yeah, it is. It's ridiculous.
Because when you look at, individuals that water usage, I mean, very rarely would you see someone with a $200 water bill.
And it's not just happening in there. I think Sandy Springs is having the same issue. So if you're living in Sandy Springs, I think the same property management, Vicinity who's managing these properties. Even though you got a landlord, you got a property manager. The property manager really is there collecting the money. They're not really making the decisions. And so, we want you all to get, again, that's make them be of NAACP 1909 at gmail.com. Mr. Dumas, you want to announce this? Is this your church?
Yes. Yeah, we got some entertainment coming up. Of course, Union Baptist Church, we've been in a celebratory fashion here in the last couple of days because we're coming up to our church anniversary. Mm-hmm. And a part of that, we'll have some entertainment in the form of Reverend Luther Barnes. Reverend Luther Barnes will be performing there at the church, or that'll be Friday, October 6th, 2023, beginning at 6:30 p.m. And I think they only printed about 400 tickets. And so if you're interested, you want to call the church to see about getting the ticket because it's community-wide. It's not just, they're not having the concert just for Union Baptist.
The tickets are $20?
Yes, the tickets are $20. Minimum cost of $20 donation. And looking for a high time. Not only will you have the opportunity to hear Luther Barnes, but they'll have special guests destined for greatness. They will be there along with Chief Apostle Vertieth Rozier.
I just say that we have our state convention in Atlanta, and so that I'll be there on the 5th, 6th, and 7th. And so
it's going to be,
we're going to be doing electing a new. We're going to be having the NAACP's state convention, state election. So I'll be there because I'm on the ballot also for the state. So
absolutely,
we'll be having our convention those 3 days.
But it's going to be a wonderful time. Also, Minister Alan Banks and the Anointed Sounds of Faith, they will be there opening as well. And so if you don't know where Union Baptist Church is, it's located at 1137 Kitchen Street, right off of Sherland Drive. And so it's very easy to find the church, and looking for a high time of celebration for 130th church anniversary. And so look to see you there. And if you need more information, just call the church there at Union Baptist.
And I also want to mention that our branch, the Make 'em Be of NAACP, is having our 51st Earl T. Shinholster's annual awards banquet on October the 21st at 5 o'clock. Tickets are $50. Dinner will be served. Our speaker for the event is Dr. Wanda West. She's going to be our speaker. So, we're asking for your support. You can purchase an ad. The ads are $100. The tickets are $50. And we do have sponsorships. If you would like to be a sponsor, we do have sponsorship, a package for sponsorship. And so, we're asking with this community for your support. A lot of things that we do in the community, it takes money a lot of times for us to do that. So that's why we do have fundraisers. We are a nonprofit organization. So we don't, whatever money that we do get, we have to raise the money. We don't get grants or anything like that. And so we really need to start trying to apply for grants. But we have to raise our own money and the money that we raise goes back into the community. So
absolutely.
We don't, no one gets paid. I don't get paid. Mr. Dumas don't get paid
either.
The treasurer, secretary, no one gets a paycheck or get paid. So, but the money that we do raise, it goes back into the community. For example, someone that was being released from jail, we purchased a bus ticket for them, bus pass for them, so they'll be able to have transportation to get back and forth from the resource center where they were going to be going when they was from released from incarceration. So it's a lot of different things that we do, but it takes money to do just about anything. And so we're asking for your support. Tickets are $50. Now we pay $85, $100 to go to the concert, but like I said, is you're going to have some good entertainment, great speaker, dinner will be served, and you'll get a chance to experience people that are going to be awarded throughout this community that has dedicated the service to this community.
And that should be one thing that people should be able to come and to celebrate those who are willing to do the work that sometimes individuals aren't willing to do. There's somebody doing it in your stead. And so when you're fighting for justice and equality and making sure that people get treated fairly, you should want to support organizations that do that. There's so much negativity that happens in our community, and when you look for people to show up to represent or to come to your rescue, it's organizations like NAACP that step up to the plate.
And actually, we're the first person they call.
Absolutely.
I get so many inboxes, but at the same time, what I want people to understand, and also our membership is $30 per year. You only pay $30 annually per year. If you want to become a life member, it's $750, but you can pay that over a time period. But what I wanted to say is we can't wait until something happens to someone in our family and our loved ones, and then you say you come to the NAACP and you need help from the NAACP, but then once you get that help, we never see you again.
Exactly.
Unless something else happened again. But this is not just happening to one person that happened to your loved one. It's happening to other people too. So that's why we need for you to join, become involved, and to help with the situations or problems that the issues that we're fighting. We want you to join with us, because it's not just happening to one person, it's happening to a whole lot of people. And we just need for, I just believe that the numbers speak volume.
Absolutely.
And we need your support. When we go out and stand in this community for the injustices that are
plaguing
across this community, we need for you to stand with us.
Absolutely.
And not just not just come when you're in need of something. It's just this is not just affecting one person, it's affecting everybody. Employment issues, housing issues, criminal justice issues, all of this is affecting many different people. And so we can't just wait until something happens to us. We need for you to get involved to help us fight against injustice across this community.
Absolutely. We've run out of time, but certainly we thank you for joining us today, and we look forward to seeing you tomorrow right here, where we'll be doing registration.
Listening to the live broadcast.
So until then, have a good evening.
With Gwinnett Westbrook and Mr. Dumas. Come join us next Monday at 4:00 p.m. on 980 WDDO.
The views expressed on this program are not necessarily the views of the Glory 980 AM, the Glory Media Group, LLC, WDDO AM, its staff, management, or advertisers, but are the views and opinions of the participant